Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. It's Joshua Demers Productions with the Budgie Buddies J&K with an off-grid hybrid update where I begin roof repairs and a laundromat at my workshop RV. I get a non-toxic water hose, some new speakers, and make some shelving and more. Well, good morning, J&K. What have we got going on today? Well, you're going to have to stay locked up for just a few more minutes. You know what? I can let you out over to the parrot perch. Anyway, I had my water hose bust on me last time I was doing laundry. I was able to finish it up, but it was spraying everywhere. And instead of trying to fix up an already old, outdated, beat up, nasty hose, I decided to order a new hose of a different type, and we'll check it out and see if we can't get all this laundry done sooner than later. I'm gonna do all my bedding and everything. Heck, I'm even gonna do my pillows. So let's pull out the, wait a minute, that's gonna take all day. Let's try something different. All right, J&K, you guys want to go out in the back today? Well, make up your mind, guys. It's either in the cage or in the back, because I got to go through the door. You see me about ready to head outside, right? All right, then. So let's go. Come on now. One way or the other, buddy. Go on. All right, y'all. All right, the first thing we want to do is save some money. Cool, I didn't realize that's a little measuring cup right there. That's pretty handy, you know? I might start using that a little later when I actually get the washing machine in a better place and a better spot to put that, closer to it, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Anyway, I have this leftover little bottle that I just simply refill with this, and this is what, like 60 cents on the dollar compared to buying this anything smaller. And you know, it's not the name brand, but it's really good stuff. Again, better than the stuff you get for $1 versus 60 cents on the dollar for the better stuff. But anyways, it's full now, and the reason why I do this way really is because this big jug actually sits up under there right now. I don't really have another better place to put it where I can just get that, you know, so that works better. Again, when you see where my washing machine is going to end up, you'll understand why. So here it is. This is why it's not going to take all day. Back and forth every 3 to 5 minutes, swapping out 3, 5, and 10 minutes, swapping out loads until I get it all caught up about 5 or 10 pounds at a time. Now I can literally do all the bedding at once. I can actually do a full hamper full, but I can divide that into 2 to make it a little easier. That is a pretty sturdy machine. So what I was talking about with the hose is right over here. This old hose has served me well, but with all this stuff going on in the yard and everything and sitting out in the sun for years, it finally, when I went and rolled it up the other day, cracked somewhere in the middle. I was right in the middle of doing the laundry and it's spraying all over the place here. I let the laundry finish up, shut it down. I went and refilled my water tank with it, and as long as it's not under pressure, it doesn't spray. It's only when it's under pressure, you know. So I've been just holding off on doing the laundry, and instead of going to Walmart and buying another hose or Lowe's, I decided to go a completely different route and get rid of that old style hose altogether and try something completely new. Look at this thing. It's very similar to what my the hose going from the faucet to the shower head is. It's this metal with that clear, I guess it's vinyl or something, but it's supposedly non-toxic. So that might get rid of that rubber hose taste. It'll definitely keep the the sun off of this thing and from deteriorating. It won't kink or anything. It's a little bit lighter too. Everything else. So the only thing is you notice that little hole in that thing was tiny. It may take a little longer to fill that up. My water tank fills up. I think it fills up too fast anyway, so I kind of like the reduced pressure on that for filling up the water tank, or even just hooking it straight up. But anyway, so let's go ahead and roll this thing out and give it a try and see how it does. I have to say that it rolled out much easier than it looked like it was going to. It looked like it was going to get, I was going to have to do a bunch of flipping around and unkinking and stuff, and no, for the most part it just fell apart as I pulled it out, and it kind of was able to unwind itself, so to speak. But anyways, so now it's hooked up. Let's turn it on, see how these connections are and how this thing feels like under pressure. I'm gonna go plug the washing machine in, put a load in, make this work. All right. So far, so good. And it's not, didn't jerk or kink up or nothing. Yeah, a little stiff, but manageable. Supposed to be able to take a little bit of abuse. I'm liking this so far. Like I said, as long as it runs up into the washing machine, enough water to not take forever. Uh-oh, we got a drip. But honestly, this thing here is just, these things here aren't the best. I've had some trouble with these. I used to use them for my hot water heater, and that's why they're not used for that no more, because they give me trouble. Let's see if I can fix that first. Nope, that made that worse. I might need to wait till it's under or out of pressure to try that again. And that's a new washer in that thing, so it shouldn't be, and it doesn't leak with the big hose, so that might be its weak point right there. We'll see. All right, so now plug in the machine, and it should do its little click. Yep, that's ready to go. All right, now you gotta hurry up and beat the mosquitoes before they eat me alive. You see them floating in front of the camera. Now, one of my friends from church had this left over. Says she doesn't like it because it kinks up her regular hoses and everything, but it might actually do pretty good with that metal covered cord or hose, or maybe extension cords or something. But that actually looks handy with a handle and a little hook on it, so I'll find a place to put this. All right, something else that I'd like to mention is, I know you guys like chewing on the wood right there. I usually put my pillows up there, but I'm washing them today. So anyway, something else though I've done is I've actually made money off my laundry machine twice so far. And so what I did was went out and bought a whole bunch of thick hangers for the pants, and I actually got 2 sets of these for shirts and socks and everything else. And one of these is for my customers. When they have me do their laundry, when I do their shirts and everything, I leave them on the hangers and hand them back to them, since they're only $3 for this whole pile of them. And then I just tell them bring the hangers back when you get them redone, and that makes it easier for me. I don't have to fold them, and it makes it easier for them. They'll have some hangers to keep them in better shape with. Then I got a 50 pack of clothespins, and I'll tell you what, I really need one more set of those, and I'll have this all going in really good shape. Now, for the most part, see, that's what I'm talking about. Look at Jay. Jay Bird, stop that. I hate it when you do that. But whatever, it's my fault for not having the pillows done. Anyways, for the most part, if I get the laundry done once every 6 to 8 days, 9 days pushing it, I can get it all to fit up in here on this rack. Sometimes along the bed, or maybe hanging a few things over here and there. But when I got the other people having me do their laundry, I don't even bother doing it in here. I do it somewhere else. So to continue with the improvements on my laundry system, I went ahead and bought me 2 baskets, and I'll probably buy me a few more eventually. They're only, what, $3 a piece. Spent like, I don't know, 6 or 7 on this hamper for my own personal use and everything, and that works really perfect. It holds about a week's worth of clothes, and I just take it out and 9 out of 10, I can just dump it right in the washing machine and hit start button and not have to worry about it. So now that's exactly what we'll do. But we'll start with this first. That's not supposed to go in the washing machine, but man, it's been months. It really needs it. It's, you know, but I absolutely love this hat so much, you can see. A gift from another couple at the church that hires me to do the weed eating while they mow their grass. All right, make sure that J and K are contained away from the open door. Even though they've never tried to fly out, we don't want any accidents. You know, speaking of my church and having all my friends and everything, you know, I went been going there a couple years and went to a meeting last night and realized that might become a membership, or might become an actual, like, real member, and take my you know, soup kitchen and men's group and photography stuff to the next level. First, I need to get my house in order, right? Well, I've got a lot of projects going on. As you can see, I've got a new shelf I built up here, but I don't have any panels set up for there. I've got my subwoofer swapped around, so I need to build a shelf over this subwoofer. I've got this big giant Denon amp in here now instead of that RCA, so now I've got, you know, worked something out, and you know, I want to start practicing on the bass guitar, because that's something I might be able to offer my churches. They don't have a bass guitar player, and if I can pick that up and learn it in a year, maybe, you know, maybe. So I got an amplifier there for it, but again, the placement actually isn't too bad right there, but the amp on top of it. Shut up, Josh, get to the laundry, bye. You know, I just sometimes don't worry about all the clutter, because every now and then I actually have this place really straightened out, really nice looking, and then a few weeks later I get a bunch of boxes of stuff in for other projects and whatnot, and then just, you know, it takes a few weeks for me and my R-worded mentality occasionally to, you know, get it all caught up. Oh, thing I learned about this is it's best to pour the soap in first, right down at towards the very back where it puts the water in. But anyway, now you see the value of having the little bottle around instead of that big jug for now. And if somebody takes that, that's $1 worth of laundry detergent versus what, 12 bucks for that big bottle. Anyways, so, you know, for bigger loads, I usually, I don't know, 2 full caps like that, I think equals one of those big ones. Something like that. I'm sure you don't need a lesson on how to do laundry, but maybe you do. So here it is, just in case. Because as you can see, this is a different machine. It's not like a normal machine. It's a little different. All right, there's an interesting story on this washing machine. And it sounds like it's filling up all right. Sounds like it's filling up a little slow, but filling up all right. You know, the other advantages is running this washing machine before I hook it up to my RV will also, you know, rinse any manufacturing whatever's out of there. Anyway, I bought this for $50 at a yard sale. The logic board on this thing appeared to be damaged. The lid was opened, but the lock was locked, and you plug this thing in and it would click, click, and then flash a few times. According to the Kenmore representative on a thread online, logic board's bad. That's it. No other way to solve that problem but put a logic board in it. Found one for about 50 bucks, used, ordered it, got it in, you know, went through all the trouble of making sure I got the right one and everything. You know, that's a lot more trouble than you think, and a lot more risky, you know, especially for time, or if you're on a limited budget. Anyway, got it in, put it in, same exact problem. Took it right back out, boxed it up, sent it back. They just charged me shipping for the trouble, which is like $5 or $6, so whatever. Anyway, I finally got this thing, took this thing apart, took the switch apart, got the lid lock to where the lid was closed when the lock was supposed to be on, and that fixed it. Well, as soon as it detected that the lid, or no, I think what I did was I took my finger in there and pushed, or tool or whatever, forced that switch to pretend the lid was closed, and it fixed the logic problem. Crazy, really stupid actually. Ran it through, and I realized that when it comes to, boy, these mosquitoes are eating me up. When it comes to the drain part, that's where the problem was. You'd hear the pump kind of buzz. I'd get some voltage on it, but it wouldn't really spit out any. Sometimes it wouldn't at all. And then every great now and then, about, I don't know, 1 out of every 5 times, boom, it would start shooting out of there just fine. And sometimes it'd do a whole cycle, sometimes it wouldn't. So what I did I went ahead and ordered a new one of those. $25 for that. So I got $75, $80 if you want to include that shipping loss. Into this machine is $600 retails right now. And I looked underneath it and it all looks really, you know, 85 to 90 out of 100 for condition underneath it. So anyway, I got that in there, but until I did, what I did was I sat here and just unhooked the hose when it would want to try to drain and hook it back up when it would, you know, when it would want to hold the water or fill. And I ended up getting away with it for the first week while I waited for that to come in. I put that in, and I do realize that voltages actually show the same thing. Sometimes that thing actually just runs at like 20 or 30% for a few minutes, and then it goes all out bananas. And if maybe, I don't know, I got a picture of it shooting out the back. I don't know if I'm gonna sit here in the mosquitoes and try to capture this on footage. Anyway, I think you get the idea. This finishes up, put it in a basket, put that in. I got another basket to keep it all moving. So anyways, like I said, I'm really liking this hose. It really seems like a much better for drinking water, you know, living off of water. And, you know, because garden hose is for a garden. So this is more like a house hose, really. I like the metal, keep the sun off of it for the few hours that I'll be using it, because it doesn't stay outside. It gets wrapped up when I'm done using it. And I only need it once a week to fill up the water tank. In fact, sometimes less than that, because of all the, since I moved my washing machine off to the main hose instead of off my water tank, you know. Anyways, I finally went ahead and got this peeled off yesterday, and you can see how clean I got it. I figured out a torch and those wire brushes for the drill you saw sitting on that end table turned out to be the ticket to cleaning that and these tracks. That's the way to do it, man. That torch and that wire wheel. Anyways, so what I got going on in here, oh, sometimes this is a two-handed operation, there we go, is this clothesline I can set up, take all those extra hangers in my, and the clothes I get to, you know, that I'm doing for money, and lay them up all up in here, and then turn on this big fan, and you know, so if I got another fan set up in here, and then boom, I got myself a dryer too. You know, it takes half a day, but it does everything really well, actually, rain or shine, day or night. And I also charge my e-bike battery up in here, so I don't have to worry about it burning my place down. If it's gonna burn anything down, it'll burn this down. I guess I'll call this is RV number 2. I guess I'll call it my workshop at this point. Look at that, I got that for $100 at Goodwill. You know, it's quite nice, actually, and not in terrible shape. And then yesterday, when I got that piece off, I realized the piece of wood up on there, solid to a point, and I said, you know, I got to go up along these walls anyway to do the framing, because you can see there's just no framing there. A little bit of framing that's left in there is in really bad shape. So I said, all right, it's time to all come down. I got all nastied up, but it was perfect timing, because it was right, I mean, kind of perfect timing, because it was right before I had to jump in the shower to get to church to go to that members meeting. But I would prefer to have gotten up there and gotten that caulked up with the lap sealant yesterday. Well, that's my goal to try to do today before that sun gets up over that tree line right there. So that's what I'm going to do now. Bye. That took maybe a half hour with that torch and that wire brush wheel. Whew. I'd have never done that in 8 hours by hand and made it look that good. And I think the torch really sped it up too by at least 3 or 4 times. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. How about that? $80 washing machine. Totally changes my life, really. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go check on the birds. Oh, there they are. What are you doing over there, Jay? What are you doing over there, KK? You guys getting into trouble today? Okay, so this was, you know, supposed to be mostly about the washing machine, but I decided I would do a little bit of update as well. So I might as well. KK, he still gets annoying, but again, with all the extra attention and everything I've been trying to give the birds, you know, I don't want to get rid of them all the time, just about 30% of the time. And it's just KK. I love Jaybird. Jaybird's such an awesome bird, but he's always has been. It's always been KK's always been a little bit of a savage, and just have to love him for who he is, I guess. Anyways, so there's my new speaker, my MTX subs. Finally got some new capacitors to put in to replace the one I found that was blown. I'm just going to might as well do them both. Like I said, I got me since that thing there uses up as much power as that TV on full blast, just sitting there on standby, it's, you know, and it really puts out a lot of power. It's just not worth it at night. So I switched back over to the little portable amp and these little speakers. But you know what? Set up on top of this center channel with the space right behind it, these speakers actually sound quite amazing, you know, and they get okay loud, but not very loud, and that's just fine because that's what these are for. Anyway, I got these for $100 and they're retailing on eBay for 12 to 15 right now. I bought that for $50 3 years ago, put it in storage for a day like when I got these things, and that RCA just wasn't enough. I mean, it was loud, but it wasn't powerful. So that right there, like I said, that's so powerful though I had to find an alternative because I'm off grid. Anyway, switched the subwoofers around, and had to build me this rack. But this is my start for doing these cabinets and stuff, you know. This is my first more or less try of just the framing, and then of course I could always sheet it in. I could always have set this back up on top of here or something, you know what I'm saying? There's a few things I could do, so I could, but I don't want that. I want this open because of speakers and display. And I kind of like how I got this sitting out here nice and solid, you know, for display, but I really had to space this in. I wish I could have made this a little longer and put this here, and maybe these speakers could have actually gone here and here instead. Again, I might take it down and redesign it, but you can see I put a lot of work into trying to set up for the sound system. These I might actually hook up along with it, that right there, to those to give me a little, you know, a little bit more of a spatial effect. Although the spacing on these is perfect for the center seat. I really do get a very good stereo panning when the sound does that, if you even care to hear about all this. Still haven't quite found the right settings to rip all my DVDs to yet, but I'm getting close to getting on all that going on. I'm actually thinking about if that MTX sub does good with the new capacitors. I found one, the last one I can find that matches it for $200. You know, I might just go ahead and get it and move that out to the what we'll call the man cave, like I said, RV number 2. Oops, excuse my ums and everything. So that's another reason why I got that compound miter saw, was because I'm going to start getting into this stuff. And also, honestly, you know, when I start just ripping, you know, 7, 8, 10, 12 2x4s, or actually going to be 1x1s, 1.5ers, or whatever, 2x2s, you know, over and over and over, you know, and wanting nice square cuts because it's going to be, you know, framing in the walls. It'd be so much nicer to just instead of, you know, trying to do this with a skill saw. That's really one of the bigger reasons. Oh, it is actually, wow, it's time to change the calendar. It's 26, 27, 28 today, actually. So batteries are doing actually quite amazing because I'm getting so good at my energy management, even with my bigger equipment, my bigger washing machine and my bigger stereo, my bigger speakers. I'm doing better. Got to get a speed controller for that fan. It's on the way in the mail because all my little analog ones gave up, but we'll just turn it on full blast for now to get rid of it. Got this nice one up here, still on one of the analog controllers, and it's a little squeaky, but that's why it's sitting here in the middle just to move some air up and out. And believe it or not, it all works. Yes, so I finally got me a digital speed controller for the front ones. I tried my wireless one I got sitting around here somewhere, and every one of the ones with the remote buzzed. So I just ran the wires out here. Speaking of which, since I got these new speakers, I got rid of this old wiring I was using for the speakers and even some of the power, and replaced it with the biggest speaker wire I could find at the hardware store, and it's rated well enough. I went ahead and used it for the fans, and what a difference. What a difference doing that makes. Plus wire nuts. I bought bags and bags and bags and bags of 3 different size wire nuts. There's another bag of them right there. So that I started putting wire nuts on everything now. And again, with all these tighter connections, what a difference. What a difference. What a difference. Anyway, so you can see here, started getting this cleaned out because I started finding spots on the ceilings to put the window insulators, the winter or blackout insulators. My buddy gave me these from his leftover from his project, so I just stuck them up here on the hottest part that gets in the sun the most, right by the air conditioner. And with everything all moved around and everything, that air conditioner actually does keep up on the hottest days and even cycles. May only be a minute or 2, but it actually makes this place cold enough that it can take a rest. That's amazing. Sometimes it didn't used to do that when it was sitting over here blowing that way, and then this place would be all hot and everything. So J&K, the bug zapper, I basically just leave it there permanently turned on. J&K don't never bump into it. I've touched it a few times and it really doesn't even bother me if I touch it. It's just the bugs. So awesome, KK. That was amazing, buddy. Yeah, that was so amazing. You too, Jaybird. Anyways, I think that's going to be it. I will see you guys later. I was started off with just a simple laundry video. I was going to make 3 of them. I was going to make a laundry video. I was going to make the video about the update on the what I'm doing on the roof, which I'll still do that as a separate video, and update. But now I got it all 3 done. Bye. All right, Jaybird. All right, KK. It's time to say goodbye. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video at least as much as I enjoy life to make it so far. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you care to, and stay tuned. As you can tell, there's always more to come. Yeah? Jaybird? Anything else? Oh, really? Well, that's so interesting. Yes, sir. All right. Bye.